Sometimes we look in the mirror and we don't understand what we see because we are expecting perfection.
Educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work, an award-winning podcast where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here's your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
Hey, everybody. So there's something that I would like to speak to you about today, and that is looking for things to be perfect. So, for those of you who know, I am a church boy. I grew up in church, and there was a phrase that was used by one of my former pastors about striving for excellence. And so, in that, he wanted us to strive for excellence in any and everything we do in life. Yes, he was talking about it from a church perspective, whether or not we were deacons or deaconesses and trustees and ushers, all those type of things. But ultimately, because he was at heart, he worked for the government. That was his full-time job. And then he had, he was a basketball coach as well. So, he was coming from a lot of different perspectives and looking at things, from different, lenses. And so he really wanted everyone to, strive for excellence. And here's one of the things that I had learned, when striving for excellence. For myself, first of all, what is excellence? What is my definition? And does my definition compare to someone else? And I will sometimes overanalyze that. And then that would kind of stop me from moving forward. Then there was another part of that. The other part of that was that in striving for excellence in any and everything that I would do, I wanted to be better than the next person. I wanted to be the best ever, and I wanted it to be perfect. And so let's give a very, very harsh example, but it's true from my standpoint. I was in school, from elementary school to high school. It started tapering off more in high school, this feeling. But I know most definitely in elementary school, I wanted to have straight A's 100% of the time. So instead of just striving to be, decent and getting the A or whatever it was, I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted my report card to have literally straight A's on it. Did I achieve it? Yeah, I did. Quite a few times. But when those moments when I did not get straight A's, I would become so down and disappointed that I ended up becoming paralyzed by perfection. And then I actually found myself drifting further and further away from the A than towards the A. And I think that we become paralyzed because we want perfection. Sometimes our, I can't think of what the word is. When you want to see things the same on both sides or whatever. Oh, I can't think of the word. I'm drawing a blank. I apologize for that. But again, I'm human. I'm not perfect. I'm striving for excellence, right? Perfect example, perfect moment. So the issue was or is being able to forgive yourself and give yourself enough slack that you're doing your best, you're going to be great, and you're going to outshine probably what you expected or anticipated in the long run. So we become paralyzed by trying to be perfect. Now, the idea of this series is perfection is the enemy of progress. And a lot of times it is. Is one of the enemies. It may not be the enemy or the sole enemy of progress, but it does contribute. So how do we get past it? How do we get around it? And that's something that is hard to say or to give a definitive answer to because it differs to the situation. It differs to your background. It differs in that community because each community has their own level of perfection, has their own level of excellence, and we need to honor and understand that. And so when we see different cultures, and I can speak from a work perspective for myself, corporate America perspective, that my level of, and I'll use customer service idea, my level of answering 25 to 30 calls in an hour may not be the same for another culture. Again, perfection being 50 calls an hour. There may be some where it says, hey, I did 15 and I did all those calls to the best of my ability. I'm still striving for excellence. But a lot of times we feel in those moments, because some things can feel like a competition. Well, how did they get by only doing 15 and I did 30? But then we still don't feel like we amount to anything because we see the other person doing 50. But there's some caveats to that. There are some other pieces to that we don't always get. They might have done 50, but it just might have been the day. It might have just been enough to say, hey, good afternoon. You've called ABC Company and thank you very much. And keep it moving and pushing. So sometimes we get caught up in wanting to be perfect. And now we're paralyzed and moving forward. Let's understand the difference between striving for excellence, being good and great and superb and all those adjectives or whatever it is that you're looking for. And allow ourselves some opportunity that even though we're not perfect in a situation, that we are doing our best. And in our best, we're learning more about ourselves. So let's not be paralyzed by perfection, but let's be energized that we're striving for excellence. And that understanding that excellence may allow us to achieve our ultimate goal. So I hope that each and every one of you are inspired by this today, that when you understand the difference between excellence and being paralyzed by perfection, that it holds us back. We're being held back. And we're being held back by our own ruler. But where did that ruler come from? Let's pay attention to that. It's almost like the Matrix idea. There is no spoon. There is no ruler. Let's keep it pushing.
Thanks for listening. Follow Maurice Chisholm on social media to stay connected and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work. Or will it?